Hey everybody, welcome back to round 2 of Modern. Got another spicy one for you. Blue-Red Phoenix, which is quickly becoming the most popular deck in the format, versus everybody's favorite, Tron. I don't think I can think of a single person that doesn't like Tron. I mean, right? What is there to dislike about it? You just play a couple lands, you cast your 7-drop on turn 3, and you win the game. What is there not to love?
Can't think of anything either.
You don't like Tron? I mean, but see, look, he's got
Give
all
me
three.
one good reason why.
He's got all 3 Tron pieces in his hand. He's just gonna play all 3 of them. He's gonna play a Worm Coil Engine on turn 3, and he's gonna win the game. I mean, what is there not to like? Tuck Fron. I like that.
I don't get it.
Oh, you don't? You see, if you switch the place of the K and the N, it says Tuck and Frock.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, see?
Tuck and Frog.
Too easy.
I mean, when do they not have turn 3 Tron?
Yeah, can we all get an F in the chat for Patrick for having his opponent have natural Tron?
Can I just write F on a piece of paper and just go slide it over to him?
Yeah, right? Before he even sees his
Before
opponent.
he sees his opponents. I know there's a punt tracker for the stream, but I think there needs to be an F tracker.
Just tracks every time somebody says F. Well, I guess you'd have to set it up to where it sees F by itself as a different string than F with another letter. But
I'm sure that's doable.
right.
I'll look into it.
That would be pretty sweet. And then maybe it can count F chains. How many Fs you have at the same time.
That would be cool.
I think you'd have to include Kappa faces as Fs, though.
Agreed. Agreed.
Also known as the F Kappa. Alright, back to some relevant magic. Patrick's going to be cycling some spells. Turn 2 is where you want to be setting up with this Phoenix deck. Either be playing the Thing in the Ice or cycling some cantrips, some Manamorphoses, maybe getting some Phoenixes out.
Assuming your opponent doesn't have turn 3 Tron.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a good turn 2, you can definitely race it. I did see something interesting while Patrick was searching through his deck. I saw a main deck Surgical Extraction.
That's interesting.
I guess it's for the prevalence of these Phoenix mirrors. Blue-Red Birdie Things or Jeskai Control for Friday. How about Jeskai Birdie Things? That sounds pretty cool.
I approve. So, Matthew says add Mantis Rider because it's basically a bird. Is he wrong, Kyle?
Yeah, that's a human.
I think it's a bird.
There you go. Jeskai Thingies. Jeskai Birdie Thingies. I guess it's probably actually 4-color Birdie Thingies. Because I'm guessing you're probably also playing Surgical Extraction.
Jeskai Flyers.
It was technically 4-color Birdie Things. Surgical Extraction.
That's
Come
fair.
on. But yeah, the list that Ryan Overturf used to win the Open in Baltimore was pretty sweet. Playing green for Traverse the Uvenwalds.
Got a Teamer Birdie Things. Wonder if Robert knows about that one.
Yeah, it's what I was just talking about. He was playing Traverse the Uvenwald to be able to search out his Thing in the Ices or
Okay.
Arclight Phoenix, allowing him to get away from playing Crackling Drake, because that card's pretty slow right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the green splash also does give you Ancient Grudge.
And Narnum Renegade.
Ancient Grudge becoming a lot more relevant now than it used to be. Ancient Grudge was not the best against... Ancient Grudge was not the best against KCI, unless you had a way to exile their graveyard as well. But with Whir becoming more popular, it's becoming more relevant to have an Ancient Grudge.
Yeah.
You got to use it to fight through their welding jars. Alright, using a completely black sleeve to represent the back of your thing in the ice does not bode very well for camera. It's the Dragon Shield Smokes. That looks even thicker than Smokes.
You kind of see it.
I know Ultimate Guard has come out with a inner sleeve that is completely black on the backside, and that's what I thought it was. Yeah, turn 3, 7, 8, it's not Tron. Fun fact, hardcasting Arclights still puts them in play. Yep, that is true. Alright, Luke, what creature do you like better? Dusting and Ice? Or Wormcoil Engine?
I like the Popsicle.
The Popsicle?
Yeah, thing in the ice. Well, I guess it's not a Popsicle anymore.
It's now a thing out of ice. I wish
Is that
that's
a Pteramander?
a Pteramander?
A P-Pteramander.
A Pterodactyl?
P-period Pteramander.
Hey, Luke, do you know what you call a Pteramander when you adapt it?
I don't.
A Pteramelion.
I don't get it. Can you please explain?
Well, you see, if you adapt it twice in the same turn, it becomes a Pterazard.
But how do you Mega Evolve it?
There's got to be some way. You have to double the counters on it.
Okay, we can do that. Maybe attach a Sword of Fire and Ice.
Grade A commentary. I'm glad that somebody likes my bad jokes.
Get me out.
You Eldritch Evolution it. Perfect.
Alright, if my opponent's gonna Eldritch Evolution that, I would honestly just concede at that point.
Alright, you're evolving your Pterazard? I'm scared. Alright, I'm being told the worm that is still on the battlefield is the Death Touch worm. Not the Lifelink worm has been defeated. Hey, Dig Dug. How's it going? A Walking Ballista for 3. Oh, 4. Even. Jeez. That seems pretty good against Pteramander.
Seems alright. Didn't even have time to evolve into a Termelion.
Yeah, why would you kill such a lonely little Pokemon?
Don't know.
It's like that first episode where the Pteramander's just sitting there in the rain, holding the little leaf over his fire so it doesn't go out. And then you see this giant walking ballista just walking through the woods and just shoots it. And it falls over and dies before Ash can get to it. That's what just happened here, folks.
Rip. We get an F in chat for the Pteramander.
Maj Corner. We do have them at our store. We have the katanas here. We didn't get near as many as we ordered. We asked for 36 copies of each color of sleeve, and we got 6 copies of each color. That was pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, they went pretty quick.
They were $12 a piece, but we are sold out of most of them, if not all of them. I have not checked since Friday. But I like them. The only issue that I have with it is how short the sleeves are. With perfect fits, the perfect fits tend to slide out of the top, which isn't really that obnoxious for casual play. But at an open or any other kind of competitive level event, it forces you to sit there and knock your deck against the table multiple times to push down the sleeves, which is kind of obnoxious. I did single sleeve a commander deck with them, and that was very nice. You don't have to worry about them being you don't have to worry about them being too tall, and they shuffle very nice. they look a lot shorter in a stack than Dragon Shields would.
So surprise, surprise, Andy got game 1.
Yeah, right.
I will say Patrick put up a pretty good fight, though.
Yeah. I mean, Worm Coil Engine's just pretty good against Sting in the Ice.
No.
You have to get the Ultimate Guard Perfect Fits to go with them. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I was using the Dragon Shield Perfect Fits, so I was messing that out. $20 US online. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense with how short print run it seems like they've been. Which is pretty obnoxious that you're having to pay that much. How many come in a pack? It's 100. Yeah, and it's not like Dragon Shield where it's like 104, 105. From my experience, it has been exactly 100 in each pack. Which is kind of obnoxious, because then if one breaks in your commander deck, you end up having to buy a whole nother pack. Which is why I like the Dragon Shields giving you 104 in each pack. But not the biggest to deal. Kind of nitpicky.
$8.99 a pack.
Yeah, if you're able to
Seems
find them,
pretty good.
if you're able to find them for $8.99 a pack, that seems like a pretty good deal. I mean, personally, I still think I'm going to use Dragon Shields. They're just good old faithful for me. I've been using them for years. It's kind of hard for me to change. Hand oil stains the back of the blacks. Yeah, that's pretty obnoxious.
And when you're used to shuffling a certain type of sleeve, it feels weird to switch to anything else.
I agree. Yeah, they do remind me a lot of the original KMCs, which I did enjoy when I started playing Magic, but as soon as Dragon Shields came out with the mats, I just switched to those, and then it seems like KMC just declined at that point too. So it was pretty convenient timing. But, yeah, like I said, pretty hard for me to get off of Dragon Shields. Luke, are you a fan of Mega Man?
Mega Man?
Yeah, the video game series.
I wouldn't. I haven't played it a whole lot, but I know of it.
Well, the reason I
have
bring it
played
up
it.
is that Dragon Shield just came out with a new line of Mega Man sleeves, Mega Man art sleeves,
Interesting.
which is pretty cool. I think they've got like 3 different arts for it or something.
Do you guys
Seems pretty cool.
pre-order some?
That's a good question. We should have. Couldn't tell if we did or not. Got to get that card flicking going. Yeah, but you could just not flick your cards though, and you know, like keep them near mint. That's also an option.
Or just play sleeveless, and you don't have to worry about damaging your sleeves.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of a lot of warnings for that, unless you keep them in near mint condition without sleeves, which would be
Done.
impressive. You could just get all your cards laminated.
That would
I
be an
have
option.
seen a laminated card, and it was pretty sweet. If somebody was willing to get like a Pauper deck laminated, man, that would be sweet. Man, I think I'm actually going to try that. I don't know how much lamination costs, and I don't know how consistent it is, to where if you could get them to where they're not distinguishable between each
That's
other.
a good question.
But if you're able to get a deck laminated, that
Alright,
would be sick.
That's your homework for this week.
I'm not doing it this week. The Pauper deck I'm playing right now also has oubliettes in it, which are still like $50 a piece. I don't really want to laminate those, but
Alright, I'll try it with Is It Blitz when I finally get that together.
yeah. Matthew says he'll do it.
Matthew just volunteered his tribute.
Oh, Matthew actually just has a laminator. It wouldn't be clean by hand.
To do it with a machine.
Yeah, you'd probably have to go to a store to do it, get it done.
Somebody had a deck quad sleeved.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that.
That's
That thing
impressive.
was huge. I considered getting my modern deck triple sleeved before they came out with the perfect fit hards, but after those came out, I was happy with just using those in regular Dragon Shields.
So is this a one-land hand from Andy?
Yep. One land, multiple cantrips,
Yeah.
ancient stirring, sullen scrying.
Looks like a treasure map, too.
A treasure map. Wow, that's new for modern.
Not a treasure map. Expedition map.
I mean, treasure map would be sweet.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
I mean, it really wouldn't surprise me too much to see treasure map out of something like mono blue Tron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually like pretty curious whether or not you're able to get laminated cards that would be tournament legal. Like if you're able to get them to be consistent enough to where you couldn't tell the difference between them. So I'm pretty excited to figure that out. Yeah, the thing that Matthew's saying is that not all Magic cards are consistent in their back. That is something you'd have to look for. You'd also have to get all of your cards in near mint condition before you laminated them. So that way you could not distinguish between them that way. And you'd also have to make sure that none of the cards got damaged in the lamination process, because that would also result in a marked card. So what's Patrick got going on here? Looks like 2 Crackling Drakes, an Arclight Phoenix, and an Abrade. Pretty slow hand. Not really going to be able to flip this thing in the ice. So I'd imagine we're going to see Andy tap out here for an Expedition map, and Patrick go ahead and snap the Abrade off on it. Or at least that's what I would do in Patrick's shows.
Keep him off Tron for as long as possible.
Yep. That's definitely a reason for Andy not to play the Expedition map if he thinks about it. Yeah, and it looks like he just didn't. He wants to leave out the relic activation.
Hard cast in the Phoenix.
He's got an Emrakul, the Promised End. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I've only ever cast that once. It was pretty fun when I cast it. Actually, that is a bold-faced lie. I've cast that card a decent amount of times, but most of the time it was in Standard. I cast that card a lot in Standard.
Looks like we'll see an O-Stone from Andy.
Pretty good to go ahead and get that down.
Yeah.
And he's got to dismember up for that thing in the ice. It's going to be flipping. Can we get the real deal?
Do you think Patrick's just going to go ahead and abrade this?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely could. I feel like he probably should. What do you mean, can we get the real deal? I'm not too sure if I understand what you're talking about.
Deal or no deal?
Blood Moon?
Oh, there's a Blood Moon.
That's not where you want that.
Nope. It's a great card, but not when it's in your graveyard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he's got at least one other copy in there somewhere.
No, I think it's just a one-of.
Was it just a one-of?
Yeah, pretty sure that's what he said. So now he just has to find some way to get it back. Noxious Revival. Yeah, the Mega Man sleeves do look pretty sweet. It is unfortunate that they're only non-matte. They're the classic art, which is kind of obnoxious. If they were matte, that'd be much better. Some thorough shuffling. Yeah, as time-consuming as shuffling is, it is definitely important to make sure you get a thorough shuffle. Most times when a player shuffles their library, it's nowhere near sufficient. But just so time-consuming.
Is that a dismember in Andy's hand?
Yeah. Yeah, so he's going to be
Could be
able to
good.
pop this thing in the
Yep.
ice in response to the last trigger coming off. He probably wants to do it before that, honestly. I think that I would have liked seeing it before this last counter came off.
Yeah, you don't want to give him a chance to just...
Oh, and now you let him cycle into the
Yeah.
spell pierce, so if he fires off this abrade, then you spell pierce the dismember, you're going to be able to flip your thing. Yeah, it looks like Patrick's probably going to abrade second main phase.
Yeah.
Had he done it his first main phase, he wouldn't be able to attack with the thing this turn. Yep, because now Andy's probably going to dismember in response, I'd imagine. Or not. So it looks like Andy's just trying to save it for the last counter to come off. Go ahead and crack the relic with 1 mana floating. Still could cast it if you wanted to. Looks like you're just going to go ahead and untap. Quite the non-bow with the Relic of Progenitus and the Emrakul, right?
Yeah.
Because he would typically have, without the Relic being cracked, he'd have had access to 10 mana here plus 2 card types in his graveyard. So he still would have been 1 off, I believe. So I think he had Sorcery and Artifact in his graveyard.
He's got lands and spells, but nothing too relevant. Patrick's just laying down the beats every turn.
With the, it looks like he's probably just going to go ahead and pop the lantern here, or the sphere. With this expedition map, he'll be able to get a land. So if he puts a card in his card type in his graveyard with Artifact, and he's got a Sylvan Scrying, so he could use Sylvan Scrying.
Should be able to play it next turn.
He could use Sylvan Scrying and Chromatic Sphere to put 2 card types in his graveyard. Looks like he's just going to go for map. I'm trying to think if there's a way that he can get Sanctum of Ugin and cast the Emrakul next turn, is what I'm trying to think of.
Oh, okay.
So if he plays the Tron land that's in his hand this turn, and then Sanctum next turn, he would have 2 card types plus 10, 11 mana, so he'd still be 1 short, so he has to get a Tron land. No, he'd have access to 11 mana. He'd have 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, Emrakul costs 13 mana, correct?
I think so.
So yeah, had he used the Sylvan Scrying to get a Sanctum of Ugin and played the Tron land that he did for turn, he would be able to cast Emrakul next turn, cracking the Sanctum to go get an Ulamog. Anyone know if there's a way to change your screen name for Twitch? Unfortunately, I have no idea. So Andy's thinking of dismembering the thing in the ice in response. Even though the dismember wouldn't counter the thing in the ice, you could still go ahead and spell pierce the dismember. Sorry, even though the spell pierce wouldn't counter the dismember, you could still go ahead and just fire the spell pierce off on the dismember to flip your thing in the ice, essentially negating the dismember. Which I'd imagine that's what we'll see Patrick do here.
Seems good.
Yeah, so now Andy can pay 2 mana to essentially gain 5 life. Which looks like he's going to, which makes sense. No real reason not to. Alright, with this Manamorphose, he's probably going to get blue-red. So he can cast his Crackling Drake, or his Arclight Phoenix, whichever one. Curious to see which threat he evaluates higher. The Crackling Drake is currently 2 power from the graveyard.
I kind of like just casting the Phoenix.
You think so? Yeah, I kind of like the Drake because it's threatening lethal next turn, I'd imagine. It's hard to tell how many instants and sorceries are in his exile, but I'd imagine that Phoenix is somewhere around 6 or 7 power. And then the thing in the ice is going to be able to attack for 2 here.
That does count exile as well.
Yeah.
That is true.
That hidden text on Crackling Phoenix or Crackling Drake.
Crackling Phoenix.
Crackling Phoenix and a Crandling Drake. Yeah, so it is 6 power.
Okay.
So here comes big old Emmy Daddy. Yeah, so instead of playing this tower here, could he have... Oh, he did have Tron last turn, right? There's another tower underneath the first one, right? Okay.
Correct.
So he could have gone 3 mana down to 2 mana to cast Sylvan Scrying. 1, 2, 9 mana plus 3 card types. Would have been 1 short. So yeah, there's no way for him to get Sanctum this turn. But he would have potentially been able to last turn. So is that a negate? Is that the Falk card on the left? Or maybe it's Thought Scour. Probably want to go ahead and Thought Scour Andy here. Just trying to find something to kill one of these creatures. Like a lightning axe would be pretty good here.
It's like a nose stone.
Just a couple of lands. You're gonna be able to play a shock land in untapped, and then he's gonna be able to suicide one of these creatures into the Emrakul. So he's probably just gonna play the Drake. He's probably, yep, gonna do that, block the Drake. And yeah, the only other thing you can really do is just play Shock Land. Alright, so now Patrick's going to draw the Lightning Axe. Let's see it. Nope, the Opt.
But the Opt could find the Lightning Axe.
Or maybe even Surgical Extraction. That would have been a pretty good thing for Andy to find. Because you imagine that Patrick brings in the Surgicals. Could have Surgicaled himself. He could have, had he found Surgical, he could do what he did where he attacks with the Crackling Drake and then blocks it, and then Surgical the Crackling Drake to get the other one out of the hand. That would have probably been the best thing he could have found.
Seems a little bit like wishful thinking, but that would be pretty cool.
Well, I mean, sometimes that's how you got to win the games you're
Yeah.
behind, right? You just got to think of, like, what are the potential things I could draw here?
Is that a Blood Moon?
Oh, looks like there was a second Blood Moon.
I told you. Because I talked to him earlier about Blood Moon, and I could have sworn he said Blood Moons, plural.
Okay.
So.
Fair enough.
But is it too late?
But was that an is it joke?
It wasn't, but it is now.
Yeah. First round is Bring to Light, Scape Shift versus Burn. And Bring to Light, Scape Shift got there. Eugene. Sounds like a game over if you ask me. Yep, that seems like the card that Andy needed there. And Grafdigger's Cage going to prevent the Phoenixes from
Because
coming
why
back.
not?
Right. How many people do you have every week for Modern? Somewhere between 16 and 20 typically. We have 23 right now. That's on Tuesdays. Thursdays are a little bit smaller, but not too much smaller. And then Fridays are even bigger. Fridays we typically have about 30 people for Modern.
On Tuesdays, we run our Modern League, so the turnout's usually pretty good.
Yep. Alright, buddy. Looks like that'll do it for round 2. Pretty sweet. Nice to see Tron get up there on Phoenix. I'd imagine that's typically a pretty good matchup for Tron. You don't really have too much interaction for those large threats. But, yeah, I think that's probably going to do it for this round. As a reminder, everybody, we do have a couple giveaways going on tonight. We have the Cyclonic Rift that we're giving away tonight at the end of the round. Or not the end of the round, at the end of the night. So when round 4 is over. For everybody that wants to enter that, it's our typical point system. 25 points to enter. You get points from subscribing, following, or donating. 25 points per ticket. You can have as many tickets as you want. And then at the end of the month, we're giving away these guys. We got a foil mana vault and a playset of Rishodon ports. These are going to go out to all of our subscribers. It depends on how many subscribers we get this month to how many we're going to be giving away. At 25, it's going to be 1 Rishodon port, 35, 2, 45, 3, 55, all 4. And if we get up to 60, we're going to be giving away that foil mana vault as well. So subscribe and get entered to win. But alrighty, folks, we'll be back next round. See you then.